Baltimore boxing champion Gervonta Davis is heading to trial.
Baltimore native and boxing champ Gervonta "Tank" Davis is sent to jail.
Gervonta Davis getting a heavy escort before bonding out of jail.
Now, a judge rejected a plea deal.
Arrested, criticized, under fire from all angles. Just now, the future of Gervonta "Tank" Davis, one of boxing's most electric and undefeated stars, is hanging by a thread. With 30 wins, 28 knockouts, and a highlight reel that made him must-watch TV, it's hard to believe how fast things have spiraled. But behind the scenes, chaos is mounting.
I'm gonna slap you out. Mama said slap you out. I'm gonna slap you out. My mama said slap you out. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Boxer Gervonta Davis. This man just got arrested at 3:30 in the morning for some domestic battery stuff with him and his baby mom during survival.
On June 15th, Davis was arrested once again. This time for an alleged domestic violence incident that took place on Father's Day. That moment has triggered what insiders are calling the most serious legal crisis of his career. And considering he was already on probation for a hit-and-run case, this might be the final straw that tips him into real jail time. What's worse, the timing couldn't be more disastrous. His rematch with Lamont Roach Jr., a fight that was set to redeem his shaky draw from earlier this year, now sits in total limbo. Training camps are being shut down, fight negotiations are being stalled, and most shockingly, even some of boxing's top voices are saying Tank might be finished altogether. Public opinion, once a powerful wave behind him, is turning fast, and some say Gervonta's silence is making it worse. On June 15th, Davis was taken into custody near Miami, Florida, after an alleged altercation with the mother of his children. What began as a Father's Day pickup turned into a reported domestic dispute, one that resulted in his arrest while he was still on active probation. Let's be clear, this wasn't Davis's first run-in with the law. His past includes a hit-and-run that injured multiple people, a brief stint under house arrest, and a string of accusations involving violence outside the ring.
Early in the morning on November 5th, this surveillance video captured the moment a vehicle crashed into a fence at Washington and Martin Luther King Boulevards. The vehicle was a Lamborghini truck, and Baltimore City police say the driver was boxer Gervonta Davis.
But insiders say this time is different. This time, the stakes are higher. This time, a judge who previously handed him a second chance may now be ready to send a clear message. Sources inside Premier Boxing Champions, his promotional network, are reportedly bracing for the worst. One insider claimed bluntly, "If the judge wants to make an example out of him, there's not much we can do." This means the once celebrated face of boxing may now be facing a stretch behind bars. And with that, a complete collapse of his upcoming fights, sponsorships, and carefully built brand. If Gervonta Davis thought the rematch with Lamont Roach Jr. could still be salvaged, he might want to think again.
Yeah, man, I just want to say to let the people know that this judge is crazy, bro. This judge is, she locked me up because basically I bought a property. I did everything in my power to listen to my lawyers.
Roach, the WBA super featherweight champion who fought Tank to a controversial draw on March 1st, has had it. According to those close to his camp, Roach has packed up training, pulled the plug on his scheduled preparations, and is now actively looking for a new opponent. In a string of public comments and live stream rants, Roach didn't hold back. "I don't think this dude wants to fight, plain and simple. I'm not waiting around for someone who can't even hold up their end of the deal." Frustration is clearly boiling over. Roach says he was promised a rematch, one that would give him the chance to settle unfinished business after many fans felt he outboxed Davis in their first bout. But now, He claims Tank's erratic behavior and legal chaos have left him no choice but to move on.
All the champions. I got to smoke with all the champions. I wanted to unify at least one belt at 130. Okay. So whoever the champion is, whoever the champions are, hopefully I can just line them up and then take them out. It's good fights. The champions are Lomachenko, Shakur, and another guy from Ukraine, Denis Baranchik or something like that.
Okay. Even more telling, Roach has started angling for a fight with Floyd Schofield or even Shakur Stevenson, suggesting he's already mentally moved on from Davis. For a fighter who was once viewed as the underdog, Roach has taken control of the narrative, and Tank, for the first time in his career, is looking like the one being left behind. If the legal mess wasn't enough, Gervonta Davis is now being publicly buried by some of boxing's most recognizable voices.
Tank is done. Tank is hung him up, shoes off, get the bag, put a plaque up, he done. Tank is done, period.
Former champion and ESPN commentator Timothy Bradley didn't mince words in a recent media scrum. Tank is done. He's checked out mentally. If he gets in the ring with Manny Pacquiao and he's not all the way focused, he's gonna get beat.
Tank is checked out mentally. Tank is gone mentally. Tank looking for the big bag of Jake Paul, Pacquiao, something solo, and he's looking to, hey, I'll see you later. Tank is standing, he's not gonna fight Shakur Stevenson at all. At all. I don't care how much money Turkey offered, give him 4 Lamborghinis, whatever. Tank ain't taking that fight.
Period. Bradley's warning wasn't subtle. He suggested Davis is no longer taking the sport seriously, more interested in chasing attention and big paydays than building a legacy. He even claimed that Davis would never fight Shakur Stevenson, regardless of the money being offered. The comments immediately sparked backlash from Tank supporters, with many pointing out Bradley's long-standing tension with Davis. Critics argue that Bradley has never been objective about Tank, and that his comments sound more personal than professional. Still, the quotes have made headlines and stirred real doubt. If Tank is truly mentally checked out, as Bradley claims, then this legal situation might not just be a pause in his career. It might be the end.
I personally don't think the fight's gonna ever happen. And that's just my personal opinion. I'm not hating. It's just my personal. I don't think the fight's gonna happen. You know, I think Tank will retire for that. You know, I mean, we were hearing that Tank was gonna be fighting against Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's still on the table. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know what Tank's future looks like as of right now. But I know Shakur is willing to face the best out there.
Not everyone in the boxing world is buying into the narrative that Gervonta Davis is finished. One of the loudest dissenting voices? Boxing commentator and content creator Boxing Ego. Known for pulling no punches, Ego responded to Tim Bradley's comments with sharp criticism, calling Bradley's take a whole lot of nothing. Ego didn't hold back. Bradley has no connection to Tank. They've had bad blood for years. And now he's acting like he's qualified to predict the man's downfall? Please, this is more personal than professional. He took particular issue with the mention of a potential Manny Pacquiao fight, calling it pure fantasy matchmaking, with no basis in fact. According to Ego, this type of media speculation is what's dragging boxing journalism into the mud. He compared it to predictive text commentary, pundits tossing out wild takes to stir clicks instead of waiting for real announcements. Ego reminded viewers that Tank has faced adversity before, legal problems, public scrutiny, and even internal doubt, and yet always came back with highlight reel knockouts. We don't know what Tank's next move is, Ego added, but until we see an official announcement, all this noise is just that, noise.
It don't matter. You consider the best? Okay, I'll fight you. And that's what we need in the game, man. We need guys that want to step up and challenge the best fighters out there, and Shakur is that guy.
Despite repeated claims from Lamont Roach Jr. that the rematch with Davis is still happening, behind the scenes, a very different picture is emerging. Sources close to the WBA and Premier Boxing champions confirm No contract has been signed, no venue is locked in, and Roach has already begun exploring other options. The August 16 fight date? Rapidly fading into fantasy. This has led to calls within boxing's governing bodies for immediate action. The WBA is reportedly being pressured to either strip Davis of his lightweight title or declare him champion in recess, freeing the belt for more active contenders. That scenario would allow Roach to face Floyd Schofield, a rising contender who has already expressed interest and is currently ranked in a mandatory position. If that happens, the 135-pound division could continue moving forward, with or without Gervonta Davis. Tank's holding up the division, one insider said. He hasn't defended against mandatories. He won't commit to dates. It's time to let the other fighters eat. Roach, meanwhile, remains firm but visibly frustrated. Whether the rematch materializes or not, he's no longer waiting in the shadows. The backlash isn't just from promoters and pundits. It's spreading among fighters and fans alike. The tide of public support that once lifted Davis to stardom is now split.
Yeah, you know, I mean, hey, look, I actually like Tank Davis. He's a good, he's a good kid. He's a good fighter, a great fighter, actually. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, just get your that's it, basically. Get your shit. You don't hit women, man.
Oscar De La Hoya, once a vocal admirer of Tank, offered a biting piece of advice. He's one of my favorites, but get your together. You don't hit women, period. British welterweight Conor Benn took it even further, saying he would never share the ring with someone facing those kinds of allegations.
Discipline, is that what you want to put it down to?
Yeah.
It's more than lack of discipline, It's vile. Do you know what I mean? I don't condone that at all in the slightest, so it's not got nothing to do with lack of discipline. It's got everything to do with moral compass. And for me, that's just, it ain't right.
Even within the women's boxing community, voices are shifting. Claressa Shields, known for her unfiltered honesty, stated she believed Lamont Roach could win the rematch if it ever happens, citing Tank's lack of discipline and emotional distractions.
I feel like Gervonta is a hell of a fighter, but he needs to get his mental together. When I hear some of his interviews and I see some of the stuff that he's saying, I can just tell that he's not in love with the sport no more. I can tell that he didn't get his just due. I mean, it was crazy to hear that he said he got evicted out of a house or something like that. And I was just like, what in the world? And like that type of stuff when you've been fighting and knocking people out and fighting main events. I mean, he fought four main events here at T-Mobile.
Social media tells the same story. On Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, fans are divided. Some still back Tank, believing he's being unfairly targeted. Others say, enough is enough. Memes, mugshots, and viral live streams are overtaking highlight reels. And just like that, a fighter once hailed as the future of boxing is now at the center of the sport's ugliest controversy. The numbers don't lie. 30 wins, 28 knockouts, 0 official losses. On paper, Gervonta Davis is one of the most dominant fighters of this era. But outside the ring, the picture is far messier. If things continue to spiral, Tank risks losing far more than just a belt. His WBA championship is already under review. Fights with Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or even Naoya Inoue, all once realistic super fights, are now looking further out of reach than ever. And his once rock-solid relationship with PBC and boxing fans is beginning to erode under the weight of repeated scandals.
25 is at the next year, I'm out of it.
After our second fight.
You're out of it?
Yeah,
Care to elaborate on that?
out of the sport.
After our second fight. Nah, no, I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
Davis has teased retirement in the past. At times, he's even hinted that he's lost the fire. Now, many believe he may not have a choice. The combination of legal trouble, media scrutiny, and fighter distrust might force his exit from the sport. The question is no longer when will he fight again? It's will he fight again at all? Gervonta Davis rose from the streets of Baltimore to global boxing fame with raw talent, unmatched power, and a highlight reel built on knockouts. But now, all of it, the belts, the paydays, the glory, is under threat. Not because of a loss inside the ring, but because of chaos outside of it. Legal drama, fractured relationships, fights falling apart. The sport has seen comeback stories before, but it's also seen too many once great fighters fall apart before our eyes. So now, the final bell hasn't even rung, but the question is echoing across the boxing world. Is Tank Davis truly finished? Or does he have one more comeback left in him? Let us know in the comments. Is this the end of Gervonta Davis, or just the beginning of a redemption story no one saw coming? Alright guys, for the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and actions, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications to never miss out on quality content, and check out our other videos. Until next time, peace out.